I am Talladega. My existence is a testament to speed, to courage, to fate. For decades, I have absorbed the thunder of engines, the screams of tires, the roar of nearly 170,000 souls. My vast expanse, 2.66 miles of tri-oval, has borne witness to legends, to triumphs, and to the ghostly whispers of destiny. I remember every shift of air, every desperate maneuver, every shattered dream. But on October 15th, 2000, I was not merely a track, I was a crucible, a stage for a moment so mythic, so heroic, it imprinted itself into my very core. That day, Dale Earnhardt, the Intimidator, and his loyal ally, Kenny Wallace, etched their story into my memory, a tale of parting the seas that still makes my asphalt hum. Scene: the Serpent's Embrace, 184. The wind that day felt different, a turbulent shroud over my surface, humming with a desperate energy. NASCAR, in its quest for better racing, had given me new aerodynamic packages, wicker bills on the roof, subtle lips on the spoilers, designed to tear larger holes in the air, making drafting and passing an intricate, chaotic dance. The lead itself became a phantom, shifting hands 49 times throughout the day, a dizzying testament to the relentless intensity. I felt the constant push and pull, the ebb and flow, as drivers sought their moment. Earlier, the field had come to rest for a moment, a brief silence descending when Dave Marcis's engine finally succumbed on lap 103. As the cars funneled onto my pit road on lap 115, I sensed the gamble. Earnhardt, ever the chess master, chose only 2 tires, a risk in a race where fractions of a second meant everything. The tension built again on lap 169 when Mark Martin and Bobby Hamilton clashed, a 4-car entanglement in my very tri-oval, bringing the final pit stops. Earnhardt again took only 2 right-side tires and a splash of fuel. His own teammate Mike Skinner took 2 as well. My surface trembled in anticipation. At lap 174, the green flag unfurled once more, and I felt the rush of steel and ambition. Jeff Gordon initially seized the lead, but it was young Dale Earnhardt Jr. who surged to the front, Bobby Labonte clinging to his tail. 27 cars were locked within mere seconds of each other, their engines a furious, churning vortex, each driver a whispered promise of victory. And then, I felt Earnhardt Sr.'s black number 3 Chevrolet, battered and far from dominant, now almost glued to the rear bumper of Kenny Wallace's number 55. An unwitting alliance had been forged in the fire of competition. Scene: the Intimidator's roar, lap 184. Lap 184. A shadow fell over the faithful packed into my grandstands. Dale Earnhardt, the famed Intimidator, lay buried, a seemingly hopeless 18th, in a snarling, churning pack. My very asphalt vibrated with the collective disappointment, the thousands of hats still waving, but hopes dwindling. Yet I know him. He is the man whose whispered superpower allowed him to see the air, navigating unseen currents where others saw only chaos. I felt his charge begin, furious and deliberate. He plunged into the 4-wide abyss, around the 15th position, embracing contact. I felt the nudge, the sickening brush of metal on metal, as he touched Rich Bickle's number 60, sending Bickle into Rusty Wallace's number 2. Yet, miraculously, all 3 continued, untouched by ruin. He rode my very edge, sometimes right on the line, sometimes even dipping on the grass as he carved his path. Young Matt Kenseth, squeezed by the relentless black number 3, saw his Ford nearly kiss the grass but held on, a testament to the sheer control required on my treacherous banks. Lap 185, 4 laps to go. The field fractured into a maelstrom, shifting from 3 wide to 4, and even 5 wide. Mike Skinner seized the lead from Dale Earnhardt Jr. John Andretti charged relentlessly, a formidable presence. Through this swirling tempest, I felt Earnhardt knifing through the traffic jam, carving through the middle lane, forcing 3-wide passes. He emerged, as if from nowhere, around the 10th position. His son, Dale Jr., still clung to Skinner's inside line, a silent witness to his father's surge. Lap 186, 3 laps to go. The 5-wide madness intensified, the air thick with the roar of engines and the silent screams of desperate drivers. Mike Skinner, a winless warrior, fought to hold his precarious lead. But the elder Earnhardt was no longer merely gaining ground. He was an inexorable force. From the television booth, I heard Hall of Famer Benny Parsons, stunned by the audacity of the charge, cry out, "I don't understand how he did that." The number 3, a black and silver blur, was scraped and beaten on the right side, yet it refused to yield. Scene, the packed in the pounding air. Lap 187. 2 laps to go, the penultimate lap. Skinner still held the bottom lane, Dale Jr. in his wake. But then, the moment arrived. I felt Earnhardt, now a dominant specter, surge to the outside, climbing to the high side of Bobby Lee, pulling even with his own teammate, Skinner's number 31 Lowe's Chevrolet. And then I felt it. The unmistakable signal from Earnhardt's white-gloved hand flashing in Wallace's windshield, a silent, urgent command for a push. My very pavement vibrated with the tension in Kenny Wallace's number 55. Wallace, a fierce competitor with his own hopes of winning the race and a chance at the coveted $1 million No Bull 5 bonus, was faced with an agonizing choice: fight for his own glory or aid a legend's impossible ascent. The internal monologue, amplified by the ghostly hum of engines, was clear to me. VO, Kenny Wallace, tinged with awe and resignation. It was just a deal where it was vintage. Here I am trying to win the race. He comes down in front of me, and I'm thinking, my God, I've got no choice now but to help this guy Earnhardt win. This was the essence of loyalty, forged in fire. I felt Wallace's hands tighten on the wheel. His expression shifted from focused determination to a dawning, almost fated, realization. There was no external force compelling him, no team radio demanding it, only the raw, undeniable magnetism of Earnhardt's will. He recognized Earnhardt's uncanny way to get to that front and instinctively became part of that way. Wallace committed. I felt his number 55 Chevrolet, instead of breaking free to make its own move, lock onto the bumper of Earnhardt's number 3. The impact was immediate, forceful, not a wreck, but a precise, powerful shove. Wallace, in that moment, transformed from a rival into an unwitting, loyal ally, propelling Earnhardt past Mike Skinner's fading Chevrolet on the high side. This selfless act, made in the thunderous heart of the final lap, ensured Earnhardt's path to victory. Scene, the ghostly roar. Final lap. As the white flag unfurled, signifying the final fateful lap, Dale Earnhardt, having clawed his way through 17 positions, seized the lead. Kenny Wallace, his loyal accomplice, settled into second, with his teammate Joe Nemechek in third, a formidable trio. Then came Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s fateful miscalculation. Attempting a 3-wide move on Skinner, I felt his tires run out of room on the apron, and he was forced to jump out of the gas, tumbling to 14th place. He had, as he later admitted with regret, basically given the race to his dad, worried Daddy would think I self-destructed. Wallace, meanwhile, considered challenging Earnhardt, but, unaware that Nemechek behind him was his teammate due to a new paint scheme, feared being left out to dry if he pulled out of line. He chose loyalty, staying in line and securing second place. The master of Talladega, Mr. Restrictor Plate himself, Dale Earnhardt expertly wielded the draft, thwarting any final surge from Wallace and Nemechek. He crossed the finish line in a blaze of glory, securing his 76th and final career NASCAR Winston Cup Series victory. It was his record-shattering 10th win at Talladega, and with it, he claimed the coveted $1,000 Winston No Bull 5 bonus. The echoes of destiny after the checkered flag. As the checkered flag danced in the Alabama breeze, the ground beneath me quaked. A Big One crash erupted after the finish line, a final chaotic exclamation mark to a race of controlled pandemonium. In Victory Lane, amidst the deafening roar of 170,000 fans that felt like a mild earthquake, a triumphant Earnhardt acknowledged his unwitting ally. It was wild, he confessed. I didn't have any thought that I have a chance of winning this race, starting where I did on that restart. He added, with characteristic directness, I don't think we could have got back up there without Kenny. He even admitted, I hate to beat Mike Skinner, but I had to beat him for $1 million. Richard Childress, Earnhardt's venerable team owner, was so overcome with emotion that he kissed crewman Danny Lawrence on the cheek, declaring, the race fans got the race they deserved today. This breathtaking victory, his 76th, became frozen in time. Just months later, the motorsport world would be plunged into mourning with Earnhardt's tragic passing at the 2001 Daytona 500, transforming this triumph into a poignant, heroic farewell. It remains etched in history as one of the most memorable finishes in NASCAR Winston Cup Series history, the undisputed gold standard for racing at Talladega. Kenny Wallace, forever entwined in this legend, became a beloved figure, fans telling him, "You pushed our man to the last win of his life." Earnhardt himself, in a gesture of appreciation, mixed Wallace a victory cocktail of absolute vodka and Five Alive, a simple toast to loyalty amid the engine's dying echoes. Young Dale Earnhardt Jr., reflecting on his father's magic, saw it as like watching Michelangelo, a masterpiece painted on the unforgiving canvas of the Talladega Superspeedway. And so, the roar of his engine still echoes across my asphalt, a ghost in the Alabama air, forever teaching NASCAR how to dance on the edge. I carry the weight of that day, the vibrations of the past merging with the present. I am Talladega, and I remember Dale Earnhardt, the intimidator, and the profound, almost fated loyalty of Kenny Wallace, a moment that will forever define my mythic, haunted, and heroic past.